Hello and welcome to this week's Stinkcast for Division 4B. This is Stroke and with me is my good friend Sir Kodiak. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Good to be here.
Yeah. How was your week?
Good week for me. Got another win, so opening the season well. Didn't do as much damage as I liked, but sometimes it's nice to show you can win even if you don't pitch clear the other guy. How about yourself?
Well, yeah, at least I won. The damage was definitely on my side, not theirs, but you know how Mr. Christie's halflings are. I was lucky to get out alive of that one.
Yeah.
Was bailed out by my stupid Agi goats, but well, a win is a win. I really needed it, so that's good. Okay.
Very nice.
Okay, let's have a look at our teams and our scoreboard. So, week 2, the Murdery Space Elf Troop versus the Sun Eaters, and the Elves won 2-0. No, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So one interesting thing here to note is that I predicted this result and you did not.
Yeah, yeah, very nice. I think I've underestimated the elves, and I'll have to be more careful next time, because even though their team is not very shiny, they are. You can see that the coach is very good, and he can make good use of inducements. So good for him. Well done, Motley.
Did you get a chance to see this match?
And no, I didn't have the chance to see it.
So one interesting fact out of this was there was a kind of an interesting moment in the second half where the undead, about halfway through, had an opportunity to tie it up, and basically had a misclick where a white was supposed to blitz itself free, and instead it just blocked. And it was the ball carrying white.
That sucks.
And given it got the person down, it was, I think, like a go forward away from the end zone. Now, the Dark Elves still would have had like 5 turns to try to get back the win, but it was a real shame because then Dark Elves just got the ball off of them, and that's how we got this 2-0 result.
Right. Yeah, well, probably Elves deserved the win anyway, but those kind of mistakes are very painful because they're not associated with strategy. It's just like misclicking or, well. On the other hand, in tabletop, you have to declare the blitz before making your moves, so it's kind of similar, but maybe here is you make this mistake more often. In any case, the elves have the ball 62%. They had almost as many blocks as the undead, 35-37. So I'd say the elves played it looks, at least in the stats, like they played a superior match. If an elf takes as many blocks as you, then you probably will lose because the elves are not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it was a very aggressive Dark Elf game.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, good for the elves. Then we have Skirgle versus my Dixie Wrecked. Did you have a chance to see this one?
I did.
What did you? What do you think?
So, well, the most notable thing on this was that this is a min decision. That partway into the second half, Archie Bunker, my Dixie Wrecked coach, suffered a disconnect. It was on turn 11. It was a tie at the time, and it got resolved as a tie. I think, frankly, my Dixie Wrecked had a pretty good shot at winning this one if the game had been finished. But I understand the mins. They're not going to sign that to you when you're the one who disconnects.
Right.
And even if it's your drive, you probably could have scored.
Right. Okay. So probably the humans could have taken this home, but technical difficulties had a hand in this. Well, that's a shame. But they have a good team. They can still fight for the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, then we have Arequipa Nurglers versus Wrath of Nuffle. Region versus no region. This is what happens.
Yeah. The Apothecary went out on turn 2 for Chaos.
Oh.
And after that, things started to stack up.
Yeah, that can get painful. You see a lot of blocks on the Nurgle side, a lot of injuries. So this can really, this is what you expect. Nurgle is a really hard matchup for Chaos because Chaos rely on killing stuff, and Nurgle has regen, so they can endure it a little bit better, and they can kill just as well on the other side. So Chaos is maybe better against other teams than Nurgle because they are a little bit faster. They can chase elves, and they can chase humans or medium teams. Nurgle have a real problem with that. But when they face each other, my experience is that Nurgle usually comes out on top, and this time it wasn't different.
Yeah, it makes sense because and Chaos, even if a little bit faster, they can't play like the truly fast game like the elves. They can't run away from the Nurgle.
Exactly.
And once they get caught up there, they have some real problems.
Yeah. Well, a hard match, but they seem to have survived it. Then we have Donkeys and Elephants. My boy Shadora gives me the win versus Crypt Lords to Boogaloo. I actually saw this match. It was really one-sided. I don't think the Necro ever stood a chance. The Donkeys and Elephants took the first offensive drive. They outbatched the Necro, and then in the second half, the Necro were so diminished that that the Chaos team was able to take advantage and overwhelm them in the second half as well. They were also blessed by a blitz in the beginning of the second half in their defensive drive, so it was really, everything went well for the Chaos. I don't think the Necro, in this case in particular, ever stood a chance. It was very one-sided. Other than that, I don't know what to say. It was.
I agree completely. This Donkeys and Elephants just really controlled this entire match.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Legendary Wordsmith, another win. They keep the top against the Gwyn Skin Gut Splitters. I think we both predicted the Elves to win this one. Oh,
yes.
They got a nice MVP. Let's see what he got. He hasn't taken it yet. We'll have to check out next week.
Yeah.
Well, Elves have more ball possession. Not as many blocks. In fact, they had like half the Orcs blocks. But it seems to be like the kind of match that Dark Elves can play, where they get the ball and they're able to screen you off because they are a little bit sturdier than other elves. So, but they don't need necessarily to punch you a lot. They just manage to screen you off.
Yeah.
And yeah.
One thing that stood out. One thing that stood out for me in this match was that the Orcs got a halfling Master Chef, which you don't often see for the Orcs.
Yeah.
And the Dark, and they lost. The Dark have lost a lot of rerolls. They lost 2 rerolls in the first half. Lost all 3 in the second. And I can say if they can play like this with no like 1 or 0 rerolls, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake because this Dark Elf team in particular has a lot of built-in rerolls. They have a lot of blood.
All that dodge.
So I don't know how useful that really is. Most of the actions they take, they don't really need a reroll. So, but I know that Squid 5 likes his Affling chefs. When I played him last season, he took one of those chefs, and it was really annoying because he stole all my rerolls. But well, I think it's a mistake to take that against a team that has so many built-in rerolls. And now we see the result. Okay, then we have the Leaping Lizards against the Careless Coders. Do you have any opinions on this one?
So this is the one match where I didn't see all of it. I only caught the second half. The main takeaway I took from this was very close to a Chaos Subalu's win. There was a 1-die blitz, ended up getting left open for a gunner runner to take, which basically threw things into enough chaos that then the Careless Coders need to actually like roll some okay dice to recover, and a failed 3+ pass, even with a reroll being involved, like didn't get done, put him in a position for a draw instead of a win. So I'm guessing Chaos Subalu is a little frustrated with this one.
Yeah, I agree. I watched this match as well, and but on the other hand, I think it's interesting that the Leaping Lizards were able to tie a match that was so uh, one-sided. Most of the match you would have thought the Underworld has it in the bag. They were getting more damage. They were getting more field position. But you can never, never, never get too comfortable with the rats. You know, just one gutter runner can be hell, and this was the demonstration. So never count your cookies when you're playing rats.
Yeah.
And finally, we have Hell's Kitchen against the Butcher's Block. What do you think on this one?
So this is the armor breaks that Hell's Kitchen was able to get in this game were like really incredible. Just taking piece after piece off the field. The Yeti really performed in this match, just wrecking those Chaos Warriors, which makes sense, right? You have a Claw Mighty Blow piece at Strength 5 with Frenzy that can go blitz a Chaos Warrior all by itself, and Space Lion took good advantage of that and just kept getting pieces off the field.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. When the Yeti decides to play against AB9, it's wonderful. Yeah, well, they even got more blocks than Chaos, which is pretty interesting. Yeah. Many injuries. Yeah, I can see it was a pretty good match for the Norse. Only one casualty sustained. Yeah, very nice, very nice. So okay, that would leave. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. So that leaves the Dark Elves in first place, with Nurgle in second place, and Donkeys and Elephants in third place, and Leaping Lizards in fourth. But with the same third and fourth with the same amount of points, just like the first and second place. So it's very interesting. Also, the humans have one win and one draw, which is interesting because you said that the humans would have probably won their match. So they're still a good candidate for the division. And same goes for the Nurgle. They managed to squeal a draw where maybe they wouldn't have got it. Then come the rest that have a win and a loss, a couple of draws, and in the bottom we have the Greenskin Gut Splitters and Chaos Time, the very murdery Chaos, which is interesting because we wanted to see how would the different Chaos teams do, and we can see how at least so far the Specialized Chaos is doing a little bit better than the Controlly Chaos and than the Murdery Chaos. So but we will have to see. There's only 2 matches played, so not much to say.
Anyone could still go anywhere at this point. It's so early in the season.
Yeah, too early. And okay, now we go to the predictions. I guess it's fair to say that now we should have a look at how the predictions are going so far. So let's have a look. This sucks. You're winning by 4. Oh my god. Yeah.
Still a lot of season left. As we were just saying, still a lot of season left.
Yeah. We'll see if I can get rid of this +4 advantage you're taking. We should probably get a wager going here before you get too far ahead. Do you have any ideas?
Sure.
I have an idea.
Okay, I'll hear your idea.
How about whoever wins this gets to name a lineman on the other team?
Works for me.
Yeah? Okay, you're on.
Yeah.
So there we go. Let's hope I don't lose this one. Not that rotors matter very much in their names, but whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's...
Yeah, they won't be around for very long.
Okay, let's have a look. So, first off, we have the Butcher's Block versus Murder Space Elf Troop. And there we have our stats sheet. What do you have to say about that?
So the number one thing that jumps out at me is you have a Dark Elf team where every rostered player has dodge, and you have a Chaos team without any tackle. And I think that's just going to decide the game, that the Dark Elves are just going to run away with this.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Even though I have been betting against the Elves, they have proven me wrong. And yeah, the fact that this Chaos team still is only taking murder skills instead of taking their necessary tackle, and their necessary guard is going to hurt them. In the end, the elves can just run around this, and unless you have very lucky pals, I don't see them winning this thing. Okay, let's have a look at their next match. Then we have Hela's Kitchen against the Careless Coders. Nice.
So yeah, these guys know each other. They played in the same clan last season, Foul 2, which was the same one I was in. So this is a fun match for me in that regard. And I think this will be a fun match in general, that you've got all that frenzy on the Norse, which I think makes their blocking game so fun. And then you've got those crazy underworld goblins on the other side who are capable of so much like chaos. I think it'll be really exciting to watch.
Yeah, and it's also a lot of Mighty Blow on both sides, and a lot of 87 on both sides. So you can expect a lot of damage as well.
And one encounter I'm looking forward to is, do we get to see the Claw Mighty Blow Troll and the Claw Mighty Blow Yeti go after each other? Or are they going to kind of stay away from each other so that they don't both get pulled down?
Oh, that's an interesting question. It's going to be hard for the Yeti because of Frenzy. You have to be careful with the Frenzy traps. Probably the Troll is a little bit more in control in that regard. But I don't know. It's an interesting thing to see. Who do you see winning this one?
So I am predicting this one as a tie.
Okay, that's an interesting prediction. I think I'll take the Careless Coders on this one. They played really solid against a very, very good rat team. I think their killer is going to be very annoying against 87. Mm-hmm. It has piling on as well, so if they manage to protect that killer, they can do some real damage. And for that very good ball carrier that Hela's Kitchen has, the AG plus dodge sidestep, they have a Mighty Ball tackle blitzer as well, so they have the tools to be able to fight this.
It's going to definitely be a tough match for the Norse. I think they're going to be able to do enough to keep it to a draw, but it could easily get out of hand.
They have to do damage, especially to goblins. If they can get rid of the goblins, they'll have a good time, an easy time, because then you can just put your Yeti and some guard on the troll, and then the underworld is helpless. But there's not a lot of tackle to get rid of these goblins. That's the problem. I only see one tackle, and that tackle is on a lineman. So it's gonna be, I don't know.
Yeah, this game would look a lot better for the Norse if at least one of the Berserkers had tackle and Mighty Blow.
Yeah,
so that they
exactly.
Could just start getting
that will be a game changer, absolutely. Okay, let's have a look at our third match: the Leaping Lizards against the Green Skin Gut Splitters. Oh, and I think it's really. I mean, I love you, Squid 5, but I think this is an easy one to predict.
I would agree. The Skaven, I feel like, are going to run away with this one.
Yeah.
But I don't see the Orcs having the tools to stop them.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Skaven have a perfect killer against Orcs. The Orcs have some missing pieces. The Skaven are playing really well. The Orcs have been a little bit lacking this beginning of the season. So, I just don't see them getting away with this one. Although the Orcs do have the tools for this. They have enough tackle, and that tackle has Mighty Blow. So
that's true. That's true.
They have the tools, but from what I've seen so far from these coaches, I think the Rats take it home.
Just as a side question, what do you take on Skink number 1, who has a unassigned level up? I don't know enough about Skaven to really be able to tell what's the 4th skill on that guy.
Okay, let's assume it's a normal. If it's a normal, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't obvious to me. I look at the Blackwork blocker and I say, well, that guy's probably going to get guard.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets Mighty Blow. I would give him guard.
Yeah, guard.
But that gutter runner, I'm curious what you do. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, they can pick it up anywhere. They have blood, which is what you want. I guess sidestep. or fend. I've seen because this is clearly a gutter runner that is meant to carry the ball, and fend can protect you against piling on, and can protect you against getting based. But then again, I don't think this rat cares very much if you base it. It just dodges away.
Right.
So probably sidestep. Yeah. Yeah, sidestep, I think. Okay, let's move on. Then we have legendary wordsmith against Crypt Lord Tubugalu. What do you think?
Yeah, so here we have a very high-performing Dark Elf team, which, again, not the universal amount of dodge as our other Dark Elf team, but still a lot of it, up against one tackle zombie. I think the Dark Elves are also going to win this one.
Yeah. Have you noticed they still are not getting rid of of this niggled and now movement busted blitzer? I mean, what the hell, man? Get rid of that thing. What are you doing?
Yeah, you have 210K in cash. Like, just ditch that guy, buy someone new.
Yeah, it's so weird. But, well, I guess it's still there. Yeah, I give it to this Elves team is definitely a candidate for going to the playoffs. They're playing really well, and they have the skills. It's gonna be hard for our friends in the Necro team.
Oh, I'd agree.
Then we have Donkeys and Elephants versus Wrath of Nuffle. Nice meme. What do you think?
So I'm going to predict that I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I think that Wrath of Nuffle is going to take this just based on their superior damage dealing ability. Though I would worry that Shador is clearly a very good coach, and might just won't be able to outmaneuver them. I say one thing is I would like to see Cullen buy at least one more Beastman. That you need a bench for this game, and you have the money to buy it.
Oh, you're not wrong, because one of the problems I have to face as a Nurgle team that is not so murdery is when I face real murdery Nurgle. I have never been able to beat a real Nurgle with my fake ass Agi Nurgle, you know? So I'm probably better against normal teams than those murdery Nurgles that need their removals to get going, but against a murder Nurgle, I have real problems. And I think something similar will happen to Donkeys and Elephants. They are a very good team against most teams, but against against a Chaos team that is designed to kill, they're gonna have trouble. Here we see both teams have 3 guards, so their strength will be about the same. But one team has 3 claw and 4 mighty blow, and the other has 2 mighty blow and only 1 claw. So, so yeah, you're not wrong. it's gonna be a hard match. Now,
so what is your prediction though?
I think there will be a tie. I think both coaches will score in their respective drives. I think probably both of them will be able to stall enough to make the counter score impossible. That's my prediction.
I could see that happening.
Then we have Arequipa Nurglers versus My Dixie Wrecked. This is a good one. This is a good match.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this one. This should be really fun.
Yeah, this
that it's you're going to see the Nurgle try to like really go after the humans, and you're going to see that human one-turner not care and just score his one-turns.
Well, I don't know, because the problem with the human one-turner is not their speed, but their agi. So it's an interesting decision Mr. Luis Jano will have here. What do you do when you scored on turn 8 and now the humans have a one-turn chance? Do you put your pieces on the front so that human has a disturbing presence and it's harder to catch, or you put them in the back and force some AG3 dodges?
Yeah, it was interesting. So we didn't actually get into this, and this is stepping back to the previous section a bit. But the game that my Dixie Rect had against Skirgle, we kind of saw that play out. Right, that's another Nurgle team, and I was really disappointed that we ended up with a touchback up on the one turn
Oh.
because I wanted to see how well can can the humans actually adapt to the sort of forward positioning of the Nurgle warriors.
Right.
So hopefully we'll get to see that play out in this game.
What
without a
would you
touchback,
do as a Nurgle
someone actually
coach?
having to handle the ball. I put him near the line so that you get enough disturbing presence around to make the handoff bad. I feel like that's probably the stronger play. What about yourself?
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't done the math, but it's hard because if you put them close enough, this human team has the tools to be able to blitz one of your pieces, so the one turner doesn't even have to dodge anything, just run to the end zone. And it has a built-in catch reroll. So let's say you put one disturbing presence, then this guy catches on a 4+, and with reroll that's a 75% catch. That's not bad. 75% catch, and then you run it in. On the other hand,
That's true. And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, one risk that there is if you get too close to the sideline to try to make them try to force there to at least be a path for the dodges. This human team has a frenzy player,
Right.
who can try to just shove you off the field,
Right.
and then disturbing presence doesn't do anything.
Exactly. So I think I would put just a line in the back to force AG3 dodges, but only if I have 11 players. Because if you have 11 players, you force 2 tackle zone dodges, and those really, really suck. On the other hand,
Yeah.
if you have 10 or less players, you will have to leave at least at least 2 squares will be left with 1 tackle zone dodge. In that case, I'll try to use disturbing presence. I don't know if I was able to express this properly.
No, that makes sense. That if you need to, there's a pattern you can form if you have full 8 players back, where by putting people on the sidelines and then every other space, you can create 2 tackle zones on those
Exactly.
dodge paths. That's
But you need
much harder.
11 players for that. So only if you have 11 players, you do that. If you have 10 or less, I'll try to put that disturbing presence on the front. That would be my instinct on this, but honestly, I haven't done the math. And I think we should.
And this could be a game where you don't have. This is a game where you don't necessarily have all those 11 players because you've only got 1 Rodder on your bench, and this human team has plenty of Mighty Blow.
Right. And lastly, we have our last match, which is Skirgle versus Sun Eaters. What do you think about this one?
So one thing that jumps out at me is that the Sun Eaters don't have a bench. So I'd like to see them get one. Even still, I generally like Nurgle in the Nurgle versus Undead matchup, unless there's like some specific reason for me to see the Undead having like a particular tool to fight against this. And here, I think you just have this much better developed killy Nurgle team, and I think they're going to claw through the Undead, and that'll be their path to victory.
Yeah, I have to agree on this one. The one thing that the Undead have is speed with their goals, but if they expose their goals, the Nurgle has some tools that can make them feel the pain, you know. On the other hand, the Undead have $100 in cash, so maybe they can buy a bench, and I think they definitely should. You want a bench against Nurgle. Also, maybe they get lucky and kill a Rodder. Rodders can become zombies, so
True.
And that's
And you get
kind
them
of
immediately.
a factor.
It's always so frustrating as a Nurgle coach that I have to wait to the end of my match for the Rodders, whereas those zombies immediately pop up and can be used to foul me that game.
Yeah. There's an anecdote. I have a friend that was playing the playoffs about 2 or 3 seasons ago, and one of his Chaos Warriors was killed, but was not really killed. Was first strength busted. He put the apple, and then it was a kill. And he was like, fuck it, I'll just let him die, have an horrible death. And then he was playing against Negro. And what the fuck, now there's a zombie on the other side. And that zombie probably decided the game, so it was
That
really
is a
annoying.
frustrating mistake.
Yeah,
See
big
that guy
mistake.
coming after you.
Don't think it. Always take the lesser injury. You can fire the guy later. It's
Yeah.
less elegant, but don't, in the heat of the match, especially in playoffs, that can be really painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that would be it for our predictions.
Well, actually, I want to step back. Did we actually make predictions for the Arequipa versus my Dixie Wreck match? I think we talked about it. I'm not sure we came down on a prediction of who was going to win.
I think you're right. We didn't. So let's have a look again.
Well, so my prediction is a tie. To get that on the record, I think that the Nurgle will struggle to keep the humans from scoring. Though, perhaps if they use your suggested one-turn defense, it'll work out for them. But also, I'm not sure that my Dixie Wreck will be able to stop Arequipa themselves from scoring on their own drive.
I hate this Nurgle team. I hate it. I hate this block claw. Excuse me, a mighty blow claw without block. I just think it's so stupid. But they keep winning, so I'm going to pick them.
Okay.
They know something I don't, I guess. So don't disappoint me this time, Luis Jano. You're my shot to get some points and catch up to Sirkodia. So that gives us all our predictions then?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I guess this is it. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you on the pitch.
Yep.
See ya, man.
See you.